Hey gang, it's your old buddy Platt. Today we're continuing on our wine series. Today we're going to talk about fruit wines. Fruit wines are kind of a catch-all term. Basically, it's a fermented beverage created by pretty much anything that's not grapes. Now this obviously does not include beer, and there are some exceptions like mead, cider, and perry. Mead being honey wine. Now cider and perry is really much difference between hard apple cider and an apple wine. Not really, but here in the U.S. especially, and especially the federal government, kind of uses that term cider, so that's what we get to use. Fruit wines is made, again, pretty much from any fruit besides grapes, but can also be made from flowers and herbs, so we'll give an example later. It's usually referred to by the predominant fruit, so plum wine, elderberry wine, what have you. The EU defines wine as being made from grapes, so over in Europe you're not going to see the term fruit wine. They have other names for their version of a blueberry wine or what have you. The UK, though, does refer to fruit wines as country wines. Now, France has a term for country wines, so don't get the two confused. Most fruits do not do as well as grapes in producing wine because they don't have the balance. So the winemaker, unlike with grapes, a lot of times we're going to press the grapes, add some yeast, and go. Winemakers will have a little more of a job balancing sugar levels, pH levels, tannins. One thing that a lot of times needs to get added is yeast nutrients. Especially in the production of red wine, a lot of times the grape skins are left in fermentation and they provide nutrients for the yeast. That's not an option a lot of times in these fruit wines, so yeast nutrients need to be added. Fruit wines in general are not a huge part of the total wine market. I challenge you to go to your local liquor store and find more than one or two examples on the shelves of fruit wines. Probably what you'll see more of is your like Arbor Mist type products where it's a white Zinfandel or Merlot and there's fruit flavored added to it. Quickly go over some of the major or better known fruit wines. There's plum wine, which is actually kind of divided into two categories. There are wines actually produced from the juice of the plum, and then there's plums that get soaked in spirits. This is closer to a liqueur. They might use something like a soju, which is a popular spirit in the East. And plum wines are popular in Japan and Korea. Pineapple wine. Pineapple wine is actually a nice, soft, dry wine. They ferment all that sugar out, so you're going to get something a little crisper, lighter. It's popular in Southeast Asia, which makes sense because they have access to pineapples. Not a lot of commercial examples here in the U.S., but one of them is the Maui Winery does a commercial example, which makes total sense there in Hawaii. Dandelion wine may sound counterintuitive, but they'll take the petals, add a little sugar, and they'll balance it out with some acid, usually lemon juice. Again, this is something that's not commercially widely available, but it is big with the home winemakers. I actually get, random message every once in a while asking about dandelion wine. I guess it's kind of almost like a badge of honor in that community to make one of these wines. I have never tried it, but someday I will. Cherry wine. Cherry wine actually makes a lot of sense. The fruit has plenty of sugar, but it also has plenty of acidity. Cherry wine actually gets used to make fortified wine. Here in the U.S., most examples are from Michigan, and Michigan's home to a lot of cherry orchards, so that makes absolute sense. Other example of fruit wines are blueberry wine, elderberry wine, banana wine, even orange wine. No commercial examples I'm aware of here in the U.S., but I believe South Africa has some. Again, this is another one that's a challenge to the home winemaker because the acidity of orange juice just normally does not work with yeast, so that there is a need to adjust that pH, and that's the challenge there. I get questions on orange wine too. Would definitely have to research more on the adjustment of the pH, but that's what would have to happen to produce a wine. But it'd be interesting to see what that comes out to. The particular wine we're going to try today is a pomegranate wine from the California Fruit Wine Company. It's 11% alcohol by volume. A couple of brothers founded the California Fruit Wine Company in 2009. And besides this pomegranate, they have a cranberry, they have a pumpkin spice, a pineapple, and they also do a pomegranate cranberry sangria. So let's give this a try. Alright. Color-wise, this looks like a darker white Zinfandel. I get more red fruit than that, than a simple white Zinfandel. Let's give her. That's actually nice. It's actually real nice. Simpler side. Just a slight hint of acid. A little tartness. To me, though, this is more approachable than, like, if you ever just drink pomegranate juice, it's not just the sweet, happy, fun juice that you would think it would be. There's a lot of tannins in that, what have you. This is a little more approachable than that. And a nice sweetness to it. Yeah, all right, it's nice, pleasant glass of wine. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Until next time, bottoms up.